Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die.
Here we are once again.
And we're back. I want to first start off in the most holy name of Allah, always bearing witness that there is no God but Allah, Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all in the beautiful greeting words of peace in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
And that simply means peace be unto you. Okay, y'all, I'm crying, y'all. I'm crying. Why am I crying, y'all? Because this is the last show of the relationship. Of the relationship.
Oh, I'm sorry. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo.
Of the relationship series.
How long have we been at it? Since the
Oh my God, since March.
This is hard work.
March.
April, May.
Yes.
You got family, you got 3 months worth.
90 days
Program, 3 months worth program.
This was a serious 90 days.
This
right
was
here.
a serious night.
Hey, and none of us got time out.
Time in.
You got time in.
Definitely time in.
We put in time.
And so, by this being the last show, what are we going to
Praise be
do?
to Allah.
We
This
got
is what you gotta do.
yeah, please like, subscribe, what you have heard, what you have seen, what you have experienced, what you have embraced,
Copy and paste
what
it
you have
already.
shared with somebody, share with more people.
Come
And
on.
this definitely giving a shout out to all the the listeners who have actually been
Yes.
with us since A1 day one.
Wow.
I know that we have, been really digging into this relationship series. Keep in mind that our programming is basically more broader than just relationships. It is, a part of our 9 ministries. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Brother Tony, to kind of identify what those 9 ministries are so they can be tuned in to our next show as it relates to what the next ministry we're going to be actually, engulfed in.
Absolutely. Engulfed in.
Engulfed in. It's my southern accent. Y'all shout into the game. Engulfed in. Yes.
Oh my Allah. So, beloved family, in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is messenger and servant. I further bear witness that he came in the person of Master Father Muhammad, the supreme being, to whom holy praises are forever due. I am forever thankful to Almighty God Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad And I thank them both for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Peace be unto you. Buenas noches, sakpase. Buenas tardes, buenas noches. Greetings and all of the beautiful greetings that our people greet one another in. And of course, assalamu alaikum, which Sister Kalila said it earlier. That means peace be unto you. That is the greatest greeting, which is also a prayer. The greatest greeting that we could bestow on someone else because of the condition of the world today. So much confusion, so much pain, so much ache, and not knowing what to do. And so the greatest greeting that we could give to one another is one of peace. So that's why we greet one another in that beautiful greeting. Beloved family, welcome to Thursday Night Talks, which is organized, developed by the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives. The 7th Region of the Nation of Islam encompasses the state of Florida, the Caribbean, Central and South America. We were assembled by our Student Minister Patrick Muhammad, soon after the Criterion message of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, July 4th, 2020. And we're moving very fast to 6 years. 6 years of giving you programs, broadcasts, guiding our people to safety in the midst of so much confusion. We were organized in the midst of a pandemic, but we're still dealing with a pandemic of ignorance. We're still dealing with the pandemic of white supremacy. We're still dealing with the pandemic of black and brown inferiority. We're still dealing with a pandemic of so much ache and pain and not knowing what to do. Dear family, we are organizing these programs. And for the past 3 months, the ministry that we've been focusing on, out of the 9 ministries given to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, has been the head ministry, the Ministry of Spiritual Development. Why? Because that is the head ministry. It is absolutely necessary that we tackle every problem, every issue in our lives from a spiritual perspective. That's how we started off. And here we're discussing this relationships theory series through spiritual eyes. The Ministry of Spiritual Development, beloved family, is the ministry that bears responsibility for assisting the individual member of the community in the process of heeding truth and right guidance. Respect, honor, and obedience to the authority of the Creator in all aspects of life are essential to peace, harmony, freedom, justice, and equality. In the words of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, self-development is an absolutely essential component of this microcosm of the new world. It is not enough that we grow horizontally through the acquisition of farms, factories, banks, industry, trade, commerce, money, good homes. Horizontal growth alone is death. All dead things are on a horizontal level. Therefore, we must grow vertically, grow in uprightness, or we will be overcome by our horizontal growth. The foundation of this ministry are study and training units designed on the guidance of Allah God to produce self-examination, self-analysis, self-correction, and to quicken in each and every one of us the self-accusing spirit. For it's only when we are awakened morally that we have to face the self-accusing spirit that leads to our resurrection. And so with that, introducing our guest tonight, who is no stranger to Thursday Night Talks. Reintroducing our guest tonight is Student Minister Mark X. Brother Mark, I turn it over to you. You're on mute, Brother Mark.
Assalamu alaikum, family.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
And in the name of Allah, the Omnipotent, the Merciful, I bear witness there's no God but Allah, Muhammad is his messenger. Yeah, the appropriate term is reintroduced because our dear brother has been on Thursday Night Talks several times. So what I'm going to do is just present to some and introduce to those few that had not heard about our dear brother, but we're just going to share a few things and get them on because we want to talk to our dear brother. So Brother Desmond Muhammad was born in Dominica, Eastern Caribbean, and he graduated from Broward County College School of Nursing and has been a registered nurse since 1999. He's worked in hospitals from 1996 to 2019. His goals are to continue to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan spread the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You know, he's done so many things, and in addition to his awesome career, working on books, working on an album, his music, hobbies, and vocabulary, educating and playing the guitar. He's a man of many talents and skills, but he is most known for his articulation of the word of Allah, of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So let's get our dear brother on right now and not waste no time. Bring on our dear brother, Student Minister Desmond Muhammad.
Woo!
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Bismillah. Go ahead.
No, please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I bear witness. There is no God but Allah, and I certainly bear witness that Muhammad is indeed his messenger. I'd like to greet you and, of course, your listening audience in the greeting words of peace. In paradise, we say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Sir.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Part
welcoming me.
3.
Part 3, yes.
Well, technically not part 3, but
It's a different title.
Third time,
That's true.
third time around, but
There's going to be some overlap.
right.
Some overlap.
But
I just wanted to say thank you to you all firstly, and thank you to our 7th Regional Student Minister, Brother Patrick
Yes.
Muhammad, for this platform, and of course always to Student Regional Minister Abdul Sharif for allowing me the platform to be in the student ministry. And of course, we always want to thank and all the believers that support them to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So with that being said, I pray that Allah, the words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in his sight, our Lord, our strength, and our Redeemer. Amen.
Amen.
Man,
I love that prayer, because my thing is, as I'm thinking about this being the last show as it relates to the relationship series, we still have a lot of reaching we have to do as it relates to this topic. And I really wanted, and I really, I'm really at, it's kind of at like a standstill in regards to it being the last show, but giving a view of an optimistic approach to this relationship series. And so that's why we as a group, by the help of our dear Assistant Minister, Student Minister Tony, came up with the title, Love, Life, and Let Allah, God, into our relationship. So we're going to our questions.
Sister Kalila, if I may, and I didn't come up with the title myself.
I know you did.
I researched.
I was going to talk. Yeah, I was going to talk.
Yes,
about
ma'am.
that.
Please,
Okay.
please.
No, but go ahead. I think you would come up.
We're
I
in the
think
same wavelength, Sister Kalila.
Right? Yeah. No.
Because
No.
I don't give myself the credit. We wanted to have a sum up of all the discussions that we've been having on relationships. Talking about relationships in general. Why do we have these hang-ups with one another when we should be doing everything that we can to build a stronger relationship with one another, regardless to whatever disagreements, which are always very small. We just have to learn how to relate to one another better, and which is an ongoing struggle in our lives. If we truly love one another, there is no cutoff like that. If we truly love one another, we will proceed further. Like, okay, there's something that I did wasn't 100% correct. All right, well, I got to refine myself, and I got to make this work with whoever I am working with. It could be a relationship that I'm having with another person, like a friendship. It could be a coworker. It could be a marriage. But here we're talking about relationships in general. So I literally researched the Final Call article. Well, how would the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan phrase a program like this? And through my search, I found this a similar title, very, very, very similar, and it corresponded to one of the national trainings: love, life, and letting Allah in. And so that's where this particular title comes from. I found it to be fitting. I presented it to the group. All of you agreed. I presented it to Student Minister Desmond. He agreed. And here we are. All praises due to Allah.
Praises be to Allah. Thank
I'm
you,
sorry
Brother
for being so wordy.
No, you're fine. Yes. So with that being said, I wanted to again add to what Brother Tony is saying, and just kind of give light to this very serious topic, because at the end of the day, some marriages are suffering in silence.
Absolutely.
And I'm thankful to Allah that we have such a platform that we can share a little bit of life to save a life, and allow whatever silence to be amplified in a manner in which we want to give right guidance and right energy and, right direction. And, Brother Minister, I think that you are that ideal person to give that type of energy to, and for our, our people and our listening audience. And so with that being said, how do you prioritize life that allows a love that brings you closer to Allah?
Praise be to Allah. How do you prioritize life with a love
that allows a love?
That allows a love to bring you closer to Allah. Wow, very profound question. Well, let's start with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. The Bible says God is love. Let's begin there. God is love. So if we allow God in, if we allow Allah in, then that becomes the centrifugal force in our lives.
Come on, teach.
And so everything else is watered with the love of God. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gives, I can't remember what tape, but he speaks about the relationship between heaven and earth. And that heaven is always above earth. And no matter how rich the earth is, it is what comes down from the heavens that brings up the best of what is in the earth. That's critical. You can have a good seed, you can have good fertile land, and you can have all the essentials that it takes to plant and have the best of crops. But if the heavens, put a halt on the sunshine and the rain, fertile land can become parched land in no time.
Right.
Allah can give rain and give torrential rain and flash floods, and all the crops could be destroyed cars floating down the street in the twinkling of an eye.
Right.
So the relationship between heaven and earth, between God and us, has to remain in that order. The two, and I'm going to make this point, and it's a very serious point. The two cannot become convoluted. Allah has to be the center of our lives. Listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the study guides, The Struggle for Balance. Quote, our love for Allah God is nurtured from repetition of acts of devotion to Him. Each time we pray and draw the incredible feeling of happiness and satisfaction that comes from prayer, our love for Him grows. Each thing we do in His way increases our love. And as our love for Him grows, we recognize. You ask me, how do we allow? How can you allow without first recognition?
Yes, sir.
So as our love for Him grows, we recognize Him as the creator of our existence and the source of balance for our lives. Once we are right with Him, and only when we are right with Him do we have a hope of right relationships with others. Close quote. The book of Corinthians, and I'll use this to crystallize what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, 1 Corinthians 16 and 14. Let all that you do be done in love. So love is not this limited to this amorous feeling that we have for the opposite sex, and that's it.
Right.
God is love. His entire creation He created in truth and in love. And so everything we do, we should approach with love. Everything we do, we should approach with God awareness on our minds. We should approach school with God, education with God,
Yes.
matrimony with God, having children with God.
Yes.
The way we've been taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we even eat being God conscious. Because what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in How to Eat to Live, he said he got from God in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. So even our diet regimen is in God. And so our acts of devotion to Him, spiritually, mentally, morally, everything we do, we should think God first.
Right.
And if we think God first, then we're allowing Him in. And if we take one step towards Him, then He'll take two towards us. Thank you.
Praises be to Allah.
Just to continue, Minister Desmond. So the title, as I said, I did research, and it stemmed from a discussion from the 2023 national training. And it was at that national training, which we're coming up on the 2026 national training. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said in that year, if you've got life, you should have love. If you don't love, you don't have real life. So life begins with loving, and loving begins with knowing the Creator. Can you expound how this works in our interpersonal relationships? You already hinted on some things, But if you could elaborate a bit more.
Well, when you read Surah 4, it speaks about, it goes into a marriage, of course. It speaks about, both man and woman being of the same kind, the same essence. So when we love, then we begin to recognize God in self.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the more we are devoted to God, we begin to take on his view.
Mm-hmm.
The Holy Quran says, who's best at coloring?
Mm-hmm.
Whose color do we take on?
Mm.
We take on Allah's coloring, which is the best of coloring. So when we take on Allah's coloring, then we begin to see God in each other.
Right.
The difficulty in life and in interpersonal relationships, whether it be sister to sister, brother to brother, husband to wife, parents to children.
Right.
The difficulty we have is seeing past the veil of the humanity into the divinity. We tend to see divinity in retrospect 2020. So when you look at all of the prophets and you begin to name the prophets, they were all rejected in their contemporary, in their times.
Mm-hmm.
And then further on down the line, people latch on to them.
Right.
Because 2020 is hindsight bias.
Mm.
You see things clearer. So the challenge is recognizing God in the now. But to recognize God in the now, then we have to be God conscious.
Mm.
The more God conscious we are, meaning that we have to be so devoted and so loyal to God that we have to, through repetition, begin to think like God.
Mm.
And how much better can we think like it if we don't feed on his scripture? You have to think about 24 hours in a day, 168 hours in a week. If we lend ourselves to mundane, the social media, I mean, 4 or 5 hours a day, and then you begin to, as you said, Brother Tony, you researched. Well, research is the accumulation of data and information, and it has to be analyzed. And there's qualitative research and there's quantitative research, which we have to approach it with the scientific method. Okay, how many hours do I put? Well, I don't put as much time. Well, that's ambiguous. What's as much time? You have to log your hours. Man, I've been on social media for 6 hours. I think I read the Bible and the Quran for about 10 minutes.
No bueno.
And I'm not saying you should spend all day praying because, Allahu Akbar bataya camel. We have other things to do in life.
Right.
Right. But there should be a time devoted just for the study, for the consideration, for the reflection of God.
Yes.
On our past duties and our duty to Allah, primary, and our duty to each other. And how can I do it better next time?
Yes.
Oh my God, I was highly reactive this time. When, let me apologize for, my rather uncouth expression. And I'm sorry for shouting at you. I didn't, to shout at you. But how can I better it? How can I make expiation? Many of us, we apologize 10 weeks later.
Oh my God.
When something happens, how quick are we to apologize? Does it take a long time, which attenuates or weakens maybe the potency of the apology?
Right. There you
or
go.
The sincerity of it.
The weakness of it.
The weakness of it. And that's why I use the word attenuate, which means
there you go. You're right.
Yeah. So we have to be, when you're God conscious and you're letting God in, and we begin to see God in each other, guess what? Just like we don't want to displease God, we don't want to displease each other. Ooh, when we grow to that point where, think about it as a husband. I don't want to displease my wife. My
That's
God.
love.
Teach.
That's
Teach.
as a wife,
Come
I don't
on.
want to please my
That's
husband.
real love.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to remove him from the spirit
No.
of God, which is the spirit of love.
Mm.
I don't want to be a quarrelsome wife, as the Bible puts it. And I don't want to be a quarrelsome husband, because these days, men are arguing just the same. But again, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan covers that on page 45 of Closing the Gap. Be slow to anger. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
That clears half the deck, Brother Mark. Slow to anger. And don't do for do, tit for tat.
No.
Sometimes people do something wrong, and if you do it back to them in reprisal, you wouldn't be wrong, he said. He said, but it injures the process by which the sinner comes back to redemption.
Teach, beloved. Teach.
Oh boy, that Closing the Gap book. I mean, I wish I had enough money to just buy 1 million copies and just give them away. In the meanwhile, until Allah bless me with those chips, you can get it on store at Final Call.
In the meantime, in between time.
You'll get your copy as we speak. But
Little commercial for the
beautiful extemporaneous on the dot answers from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, interviews that helps us to cope with relationships. Praise be to Allah.
I want to say a little commercial. We are studying that in Miami, Muhammad Mosque number 29 on 5660 Northwest 7th Avenue here in Miami. We're studying Closing the Gap on Wednesday night.
All right, now.
Join us.
Praise be to Allah.
Beautiful. And all the questions that you're asking is about closing the gap. It's closing the gap between us and God.
That's right.
So we can, and if we close the gap between us and God, then ultimately we'll close the gap between the God and each other.
Beautiful teaching.
Peace and happiness, and not just bouts of peace and bouts of happiness, but something a little more perennial. You know what I mean? Ongoing happiness. Where we're taking a nice trip, and there's going to be a speed bump, but not this rough road that we're riding on. We can take better trips than that, and it's because we don't know how to live. But the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, my God, I mean, and the way the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan expresses it and give exposition to it. And it can help a Christian be a better Christian.
Right.
A Muslim be a better Muslim. A husband be a better husband. A wife be a better wife. There's no compulsion in religion. No one's putting a gun to your head to say join. You join on your own accord.
That's right.
That's
but
right.
The principles of life are universal. And I would encourage and admonish and encourage everyone to always go to YouTube, which is replete with videos of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes. I bear witness.
Any subject matter, and he can, certainly water whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish.
Exactly. One of the videos I recently looked at was "What is your role?" And that was in 1996. Whenever I send one of these videos, which you can find them on YouTube, but of course we would love for you to purchase and support our nation and go to the Final Call store to buy the actual DVD or MP3 version of those videos so that you can study them for yourself, right? Because YouTube, I mean, this platform is on YouTube, but we don't own that.
Right.
So, yes, you can watch videos on there, but once you have seen and gotten an opportunity to see it, and you find yourself watching it again and again, just go ahead and buy the DVD at Final Call Store. Just go to finalcallstore.com. I believe that is the correct. You all can correct me if that's not the actual website, but go on there and purchase the DVD. So I looked up a couple of these lectures, right? And like you just said, Student Minister Desmond, the expression of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is just, it is out of this world. And every time I share a video with someone, friends, Christian friends of mine and other people, they're blown away like, oh my God, I've never seen this. And these are lectures from like the 90s, in the 80s, and I mean, even modern day in the 2000s. But let me just kind of read some of them. And this is just some of the work the ministers put in. There's one called The Role of Women their relationship with God and man. That's a good
Mm.
one. The great power and value of the Black woman. The problems in relationships. I think that's a several, like, three-parter. Um, and that was, I don't have a date for that one written down, but I think it's three parts of that. And then he did a lecture on divorce in 1983. Profound, just so beautiful,
Mhm.
explaining that whole thing, and the surah and ayat where it says Allah hates divorce but allows it. Like, what does that mean? And what are some of the things we can do in terms of solutions to save marriages, exhausting all opportunity to save the marriage before you decide to go that route? Because there are some things people can do that they don't even think of. He talks about all of that. Or here's another one: how can they know except they have a teacher?
Mm.
Beautiful lecture. How to give birth to a God. That lecture is so profound, and it's, again, in several parts, that it's like giving a birth to a God in you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your role? That was done in 1996. The keys to a
Yeah.
successful marriage. That was in 1983. There's three parts to that. The
Excellent.
Mm.
keys to a successful marriage. Also, sister to sister, the value of the female. Understanding Marriage, that was in 1983. There's three parts to that. Love and Duty, which I quote in my
Okay.
book, Relationship Talks. And
Hmm.
then also there's another good one for the brothers, The Man and His Mission. Very,
Mm.
very good lecture. And then, of course, there's another one I really love called Fear, Faith, and Truth. So, I mean,
Yeah.
just
Yes.
going back and looking at these lectures and studying them with your
Legendary.
courtmate or with your fiance or with your husband and wife can help you grow closer into each other, into your closeness with Allah, and taking on the coloring that student minister Desmond just talked about. So that's something that I researched that I wanted to share. But let me ask you something, right? And then, from what is your role? Oh, this is what I want to do before I just ask you this. So the minister said, I took some notes. The minister said, a woman can help you do anything of value that you want to do. You won't find a better helper than the female who loves you and is there for you. God is a creator. He had a lot of big things to do. He needed a big helper, not big in size, but big in mind. And the second self of God is a powerful self. Speaking of the woman, that's what he calls us. This is for the people not familiar with this language. And from these two, you get your roles. And he spread from these two many men and women. Now it comes right back and repeats again. And keep your duty to Allah, by whom you demand one of another your rights. So he's saying again, duty to Allah is first, because it is by him that you have a demand on each other for your rights. A woman has a right to expect certain things from a man, and a man has a right to expect certain things from his mate. The problem is that you are disappointed with each other because you are not getting what you expected. Some of
Mm.
you only had physical expectations and you're tired of that. And you wonder what's next. Well, now that you
Mm.
understand your role, you know what's next. Your role is given to you. Let's start with the man. And then he goes into talking how the man is the maintainer. And what does that mean? That's not just physical, it's mental, spiritual. So, I mean, that lecture is profound. If you have never heard, to the viewer, if you've never heard of this lecture or watch it, please research it, buy it, study it, look at it over and over, listen to it, because it's just one of those things that you can't listen to it one time and be like, okay, yeah, I got that. No, no, no. It's so many jewels in all of his lectures that you really may have to stop the the tape, ponder on that, research some things, go back to it, and then really just study on it. So, with that said, student minister Desmond, since the institution of marriage is designed and defined by Allah, like we just heard from what is your role and what you talked about earlier, what all of the other co hosts talked about, and it seems to be based on the data that was shared when this series first started. We shared data and statistics on
Mhm.
Black marriage and the lack thereof, right? So, defined by Allah, seems to be on life support globally, okay? Meaning there are issues not just in the Black community, yes, but in other communities as well. They seem to be struggling with the marriage institution of marriage as well. What can be done, right? weekly, monthly, annually, specifically in our community, the Black community, to give the institution of marriage CPR, real support and solutions to help people choose God, family, and nation, which was your lecture that you did, and in this order. And I really wanted to ask you this question from this medical standpoint because you are a nurse, soon to be, inshallah, a nurse practitioner, uh, able to see your own patients. So, I mean, can you help expound on that? Because there's a lot of data saying, yes, there have been less divorces, but that's because there have been less marriages, like globally and within the Black community. Some people are just straight up opting not to get married. Like, let's just live together, things like that. I mean, it's not stopping people from having children because, we see that there's still children being produced from these situationships or interactions or whatever you want to call them. But in terms of legally married in the eyes of Allah and taking those vows, that there's some people opting just not to do that. So can you speak on it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, thank you so much for conveying to the listening audience and to us some of the topics in the lecture series that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has done. They don't get old.
No.
They don't.
Never.
Revelation.
Yeah, never.
So
Right.
I would get everyone that Sister Katrina mentioned for my library. And of course, you can go back and rewind this tape and write them down. Well, the first thing that comes to mind, my dear sister, is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, desire feeds the will.
Come on. Love it.
Beautiful.
So if the desire has been out, the language of marriage is dying. Those who are in marriage and are not happily married, sometimes instead of running to Allah, we run to each other and pour out our dissatisfaction on each other. And so how am I supposed to remain enthusiastic? Theo in Greek meaning God. So when you say enthusiasm, there's a certain level of spirit and energy and desire, enthusiastic, full of the Spirit of God. How am I supposed to maintain my enthusiasm? And it's being doused with pessimism, problems, dissatisfaction, discontent. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in Message to the Black Man, in words are light, life, and power. Power to uplift and also power to kill. So we've been taught
Come on.
actual facts between Master Fard Muhammad and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Sound travels at 1,120 feet per second.
Yes.
But there's light in words, and we've been taught that light travels 186,000 miles per second. And then to take it further, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that average thought travels 24 billion miles per second.
Wow. Right.
So the hands playing the piano is moving quicker than somebody else can even blink or think. Because thought is traveling that fast, as expressed by and evidenced by the ability to play the piano that fast. See, there's always proof. No matter what you think, there's always proof. If he said it travels at 24 billion miles per second, look at the speed that people can do certain things with. So we have to get the word out to the people as much as possible. And I could understand that's why a man and his mission, because the mission of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is to spread these teachings that God came. The mission of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is to make the great commission of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad known. Our mission is to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan fulfill his mission. And so the fulcrum of our life has to be spreading the word. Because when you raise one person in a degree of consciousness, you do not know the impact of the hundreds that you help into effect in that family. Because when people receive something that's good, they're gonna share it with someone.
Right. That is true.
So a man went out sowing seeds, you know, and four seeds. One fell on stony ground. One fell on another kind of ground, thorny grounds. One fell on fertile soil. So 1 out of 4. So we got to keep spreading and sowing seeds. And we can't think that what we're doing is in vain because we don't see this great, huge turnaround. You know, this ship that we're sailing is a big ship. But the Honorable Minister said it doesn't look like it'll make a turn, but go do what you got to do and come back. And you'll see that ship has made a turn. Just like he started in 1977 after the Honorable Elijah Muhammad departure by himself. Now, Savior's Day, you can hardly get a seat.
That's right.
That's true. That is true.
Progress.
And in 1995, while I was in college and nursing school, almost 2 million men showed up at the call of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But what we have to keep in mind also is that our open enemy went to work to bombard and blitz the people with, negative connotation and messages of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to attempt to demagnetize the effect that he had on our people. And we could never forget in COINTEL, their aim is to kill the rise of the Black Messiah. Yes. So anyone who suggests as doing the work of the Messiah, that their work is making the blind to see, the deaf to hear, and bringing people to life, to love, to relationship, to marrying, just the opposite of what we're seeing in the Black community now, that person's mission is going to be thwarted against. But thank God for Final Call Radio now. God, for those who committed our lives to helping him, we have to continue to tell the truth no matter where we are.
Ooh, say that again.
Spread the word. Why? Don't worry about what will happen to you. I'm not saying go to work and just preach all day from a microphone. I'm just saying in whenever you have an opportunity to spread the truth, spread the truth. Allah said to Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the Holy Quran, I will protect you from men.
Right.
Perfect love, the Bible says, casteth out fear. So we can be fretful in spreading the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I see my brother Jamil, who just said 2 million. If you ever follow his page, I mean, always posting something.
Always.
Of the teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Oh, yes, sir.
And he wrote the foreword to the book.
Singing, of course. This is Tisha making those faces and Brother Jamil going down the road like he's.
I love
it.
But that's their personality. That's their interaction. That's part of their devotion to each other. Everyone interacts like that. I love that. But that's theirs.
That's theirs.
That's their intimacy. It works for them. Find out what works for you. And so we have to keep these teachings to our people as much as possible, because that's why we call it the life-giving teachings. Don't worry about the profound effect, because Allah himself, after we sow the seeds, God will provide the circumstances that causes the seeds to germinate. All we have to do is sow those seeds, and you'll see Allah begin to change our people one at a time. Every million people, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 1 million. So just like that million was changed by our slave master and their children, Allah has the power. He said that we'll be changed in the twinkling of an eye.
Right.
Twinkling of an eye.
That's right.
We have to embrace this mission and spread this word as much as we can. And you'll see the effect in our people.
And Student Minister Jamil did write the foreword to Relationship Talks. So thank you.
I'm just
Thank
happy I
you,
could
Brother
understand all.
Jamil.
I'm just happy I could understand all the words in the foreword because
Yeah,
that's what
big words. That's a Howard graduate, a bison. Praise be to Allah. Thank you for answering that question.
Yes, ma'am.
Brother Minister Desmond.
Brother Mark, talk to me.
You know, I said this last night at the mosque. Marriage is not the wedding. We're taught that marriage is the process by which a husband and wife become one under Allah. And we're also taught that marriage is one half of faith. My question to you is why? Why is marriage one half of faith? Of all the things to be 50% of my faith, why is marriage one half of faith? And if I don't get married, am I only accomplishing half of my faith?
Well, I mean, listen, whether we like it or not, the way we've been taught, that's the pedagogy. That's the way we come. That's the way we come. You know, to become one with Allah is a struggle. To become one with self is a struggle. The Holy Quran says man was made to face difficulty.
That's right. That's right.
Then it says struggle is ordained. But I have to add to that pain is highly subjective in nature. Who feels it knows it. So becoming one with Allah, we've been taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the process of birth is accompanied by pain. Pain is an ally of birth and the birthing process. If we're made in the image and likeness of God, then our beginning bears witness to his beginning. I believe that's Savior's Day 1997. So there was a hard process coming to birth. There's pain involved. There's sacrifices involved.
Right.
And so in that struggle, when we enter into marriage, it becomes the institution, also the incubator.
Wow.
To make us to struggle.
Wow. Make us.
The question is, the bigger question is, what attitude will we have in the struggle?
Teach.
That's the big question. Do you go through your struggle? Do we go through our struggle with a nasty attitude? Allah knows best how to try his servants. And you say, well, Jesus paid the price for me. What kind of price did he pay? It's the price of crucifixion? I mean, you don't have one nail in your hand, one nail in your feet yet. And we're checking out. So let's just look at the 99 attributes of Allah. And how do you suggest we cultivate the attributes of Allah himself, since he shares himself with us?
Wow.
How do you become beneficent? Holy Quran says, when in anger, forgive. Don't worry, marriage will give you an opportunity to display just that character. Because your wife is going to do something, your husband going to do something. That makes us a little angry. Can you forgive? Can we forgive? Or do we have a vindictive spirit 3 months later? Oh, it becomes recurring in our conversation. Man, over and over and over, the thing you did in 1999.
Oh Allah, I gotta relive it.
Or are we growing towards beneficence and mercy? So the attributes that's in us has to be cultivated. How will you know if you're kind unless you tried an institution of marriage? It's easy to be kind with someone you're not sharing proximity with because you don't have to see them.
Good Lord.
But when you're in the same house,
in the
same house, in the same crib, then you have to learn to forgive.
Yes,
In the
sir.
words of James
Learn-
Brown, yeah.
Yeah. Learn to be kind.
Learn to be kind.
Learn to be generous. Then the Holy Quran says, don't let anger of a people incite you to wrongdoing.
Mm.
So now you can't even justify sin because you're angry with your spouse. Well, I'm angry and I ended up in adultery because I was mad. No, you can't justify sin.
Teach.
Young Minister Louis Farrakhan calls it deceptive intelligence, which rationalizes disobedience to God.
Right.
So the institution of marriage is a perfect incubator
Good
for
God.
our faith. Because you say you believe, I say I believe. So Allah is saying, okay, well, demonstrate it. You say you love, I say I love, we say we love, everybody just love. So now demonstrate love. So we get a chance to see if love is kind. We get a chance to see if love is patient. We get a chance to see if love is long suffering. Those are the attributes of, that's what makes us Christ conscious.
Good God.
Or do we abort the mission and just check out? That's not hard. That doesn't even require much intelligence. You just check out.
Yeah. Just check out.
But the uphill road,
Come on.
what will make thee comprehend, the Holy Quran says, what the uphill road is to free a slave.
Yes, sir.
From the carnal condition of this world, to free a slave. Free us from what holds us down. And then when we get into the stratosphere, meaning that we can think like God, trust like God, and interact like God, and appeal to each other like God, then we'll see our relationships interpersonal with our children, with our parents. Allah gives us signs all throughout the Holy Quran. Say not fie to your parents. Be gentle to them. Honor your mother and your father that your days may be long. We call each other brother. Well, how much of a brother are we to each other? We call each other sister. That means everything we do should cultivate the bond between us. That's why the Christians sing in church, blessed be the tide that binds all hearts in Christian love.
Yes.
What binds Muslims? What binds Christians? It's the love of God.
The love of Allah.
How
Yes.
will you know, since you've never seen God? The Bible say, how can you love God whom you've never seen and hate the person you're married to?
You see every day.
Every day.
See every day.
No character is being displayed through our trials. And so marriage helps us to see how beautiful we are.
Yes.
It also makes us to see some of the ugly things that's sitting down in us. And it's not what goes into a man, the Bible said, that defileth him or her. It's what comes out. And the institution of marriage is a perfect incubator to show us what's in us so we can clean it up and become closer to Almighty God, Allah. May Allah bless those of us who are on that journey. And I encourage everyone to get on that journey. Marriage doesn't have to be this woe is me kind of wallowing in self-pity, countenance falling. Man, you don't have to live. I don't live like that.
Come on.
I don't want to live like that.
I don't live like that. I'm telling you, I have fun in my house.
Yeah.
Do you have speed bumps? Yeah, but I'm trying to get better shock absorbers. You know what I mean? So we can go through that thing together. Yeah. You can have a happy marriage. It doesn't mean that there won't be a difficulty factor tied to that of value, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches. Anything of value
has a difficulty attachment to
if
it.
we don't include God, we'll find ourselves in and out of depression.
Come on, beloved.
In and out. Bouts of joy, bouts of happiness, but never this sustained peace that passeth all understanding that we're looking for. If you're looking outside of God, you won't find it. Because everything else, including that new car, temporal joy.
That's right.
Permanent
That's right.
joy is with God. Happiness is a gift from God. So may Allah bless us to find happiness in each other. And may He bless us to be conscious of the gift that He gives us in each other. And every gift commands the attention of the receiver. So be careful.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
If your husband, if your wife, don't be casual with your husband or casual with your wife, because you're not casual with God.
Change your view.
If you're casual with your spouse, then you're casual with God. Cannot be casual with God and then be casual with your spouse. Matters of the heart are serious.
Man.
Beautiful.
Thank you, dear brother.
Praise be to Allah. Look at Brother Mark started.
Man, it started a heat wave burning in my heart. Okay.
Thank you.
Trying to be on that same wavelength and just asking, why is faith, patience, and divine connection to Allah important in, sometimes outside, and sometimes to a relationship?
Because the very things that we're demanding of each other, or our nature is demanding of each other, we ask of God. You know you messed up, so you ask Allah, be forgiven. Be patient. I mean, we beg God. We be begging God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, Allah, forgive us our trespasses.
Yes.
As we forgive those who
trespass against us. Right.
So if you want God to be patient with you, patient with me, when we want to do something that requires a degree of success, even in finances, we ask God for His blessings. Always asking God, always asking God, always asking God. Well, why not ask each other?
Beautiful teaching.
How can we be so reliant on God, yet not depend on each other? This is why marriage is interdependency. There's something in you that I need to complete me. There's something in me from God that you need to complete you. We can't go this thing alone. We need each other. And in this growing up in America, our enemy has made us enemies of each other. So we're approaching courtships and marriages and interpersonal relationships, even business, doing business with everything we do, black to black. We do it with a jaundiced eye. Oh no, oh hell no, that person can't be that nice. I'm waiting for the real you to come out.
I knew it.
Why the real me? Why the real me can't be godly?
That is the
You act like you don't know I make mistakes. Are you perfect? And if you're not perfect in your sojourn in life, why do you demand of me that type of perfection that you yourself have not expressed?
Come on.
Teach.
Oh my God.
You're hypocritical.
Teach.
Come on.
You're making demands of me that you have not cultivated.
Teach.
My God.
It's unjust.
It's unjust. So I've been greatly unjust to myself, and I do confess my fault. That's why we say, surely I'm being turned. Because I don't have the power to turn myself.
Sometimes we don't have that power, beloved.
And if I don't have the power to turn myself, and I'm reliant on God, then you're reliant on God.
That's right.
And so both of us are reliant on God. So we should be very humble. You need God? Yeah, I need Him too. Let's take this journey together. Okay, bet it up. Okay, what are your rights? What does your nature demand of me? What does my nature demand of you? Study the tapes of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and we'll find out what our roles are.
That's right.
And we won't make artificial demands of each other.
That's right.
We'll make demands of each other that our nature has put on us. And we'll become closer and closer, because there's a right way and a wrong way to love somebody. That's a song, right?
Yeah.
It is. God's way. Love you, Keith Sweat, but hey, man, it ain't your way.
Right. That's right.
God's way.
That's God's
way. And when
way.
you don't put God in the solution, then we'll always have problems.
That's right.
Oh, hello, somebody.
That's right. That's
And
right.
allow to make you give you a semblance of you think you're solving the problems, and then booyah, you have enough rope to hang yourself.
Oh my God.
That's right.
History. We need God, and we need each
That's
other.
right.
We need each other. We got to go down this road together.
Right.
Teach.
We gotta come back to family. Shout out, man. Shout out to all of the marriages that are going on, around the
Yes.
nation and in the churches. Who,
Yes.
have the pristine qualities of God, of wanting to have holy matrimony. Well, how can you have holy matrimony and not strive for holiness?
Teach.
Teach.
That's an oxymoron.
Beautiful.
We have to
Beautiful.
strive. That's why it says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all its righteousness,
This righteousness.
and then your happiness in your marriage will be added unto you."
Right.
Why Minister Farrakhan said our primary relationship is with Allah.
First
Primary.
and foremost.
First and
That's
foremost.
right.
We have to exhort each other to that.
To that. That's right.
A good wife encourages her husband to make Allah his primary relationship. She doesn't try to steal that from him, because she's
That's
trying to
right.
make Allah her primary relationship too.
That's right.
That's
Good
right.
teaching. Good teaching.
Doesn't mean it's at the expense of each other, because you don't have to denounce something to establish the other. But we have to not let the structure becomes convoluted or out of place.
Right.
Because relationship to God is first.
Right.
Oh, you're asking
Beautiful.
tonight. Praise be to God.
Beautiful.
Let's get it.
Mr. Desmond, this is what comes to mind. Just going back to what you were talking about. Too many of us like drama, and we don't want to admit it, but we're addicted
That
to
is
it.
true. That is
You're
true.
like when we get upset with one another, I mean that it's impossible for us to exist as human beings and not have some type of disagreement in our life with one another.
Right.
It's impossible. But then when we take things the wrong way, or there is a disagreement, let's say that there's an argument, and I'm feeling some kind of way, like just harboring that brother Desmond, and I'm holding on to that anger for 3 weeks, and I'm not talking about the issue with my brother. It's just festering there with my wife, with my children, with just holding it in, and it's festering like a cancer. Too many of us operate that way. I'm not going to talk to so and so. Wow, we had a disagreement. Really? So, beloved, when it comes down to disagreements, when they take place, whether in marriage or in friendships or among fellow believers, why is it important to bring Allah at the center of the conversation? And what is
very
the process?
very good question.
What is the process involved? Because I don't even, if we're having a disagreement, I don't want to talk to my brother. How do we begin that process?
Well, Allah settles all dispute because He's the author of truth, and the truth settles all dispute. There's your side, there's my side, and then there's the truth.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The truth. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in the theology of time, the truth stands by itself.
By itself.
So you and I can become exponents and carriers of the truth. But Allah's truth is established. So why do we need Allah? We need Allah because we need someone to reconcile our differences.
That is correct.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, a study of us could, illustrate very quickly, pathologically, that we haven't been too good at arbitrating each other's affairs. We can hardly arbitrate our own affairs.
Right. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? If you look at your life, sometimes you're not even satisfied with the decisions you've made. Man, I should have done that better. So if you need to reconcile with your own self, then what makes you think you and I don't need to reconcile with each other? We need God to reconcile. That's why Jesus reconciles man to God. Think about that. Why is Jesus reconciling man to God? First John, I think the second chapter calls him the propitiator.
Mm.
Hmm? He appeases, but not in the cheap way at work, buying donuts to get a raise. But he begged our pardon as the propitiator, because he's trying to reconcile. Why? Because if the weight of what we did, if Allah gave reprisal, the weight of what we did, then it wouldn't be one of us standing.
Man, I've been gone.
Not one.
So Allah raises a man and raises men to beg our pardon.
That's right.
Sometimes working on our
Praise be
behalf
to Allah.
without us even knowing.
Praise be to Allah.
Think about that. So we have to bring God in the middle. Why? Because when we have God at the center, then we take on a godly spirit.
That's right.
Quarreling robs us of the spirit of love.
That's right.
Quarreling only displays, in most cases, our ego.
Carving God out.
The righteous walks the earth in humility. Okay, Brother Tony, let's just say we have a serious disagreement. Disagreement doesn't mean evil, because evil is a bad name after faith, says the Holy Quran. Disagreement doesn't mean name calling.
Right. There you go.
Disagreement does not have to equal accusatory language.
Wow.
Oh, that's a big one. The Quran says, if you really think I did it, put your hand on that Quran if you don't have 4 witnesses and ask for the punishment that was due to me upon yourself.
Woo.
Oh, yeah. Then the Holy Quran says, avoid suspicion, because suspicion in some cases, or most cases, I can't remember exactly what it says, is sin.
Sin. Thinking crazy things about your brother.
So we need God, because we have to bring God, his truth, his spirit between us to have a chance for reconciliation. If we bring what we've learned from our slave masters and their children, we're going to be at war. Why? Because he's been at war perennially.
That's right.
That's right.
He's never not been at war. If you read Secret Relationships Between Blacks and Jews, around page 52 to 54, it speaks about our slave masters and their children being a motley assemblage. A motley here suggests it's incongruent in everything. Can't get along. Killing each other in Europe. And then when they came to America, the blacks became the buffer. You see? And now they're able to get along on keeping us oppressed.
Enslaved.
And enslaved. So we became the omnipotent, for all of their troubles. But our focus can't be on him.
The blame of their
Our focus has to be on our relationship with God.
That's right.
Because with God, all things are possible. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, if we do what we're supposed to do, man, we'll forget that he's even there.
Wow.
You see? So when we mistreat each other, outside of what the white man has taught us, where is he? Our focus has to be bringing God in our relationships, Brother Tony. It's because our problem, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, our solution is divine. It ain't political. It ain't social. It ain't any of these institutions that we go to our schools for and say our dissertations and get our doctorate. It's nothing wrong with that matriculation. Get it. But if it does not include God, in its approach,
wrong approach,
then you won't have the transformative effect that you're looking for. You might have a political effect, but not a transformation. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Renew your mind unless you invite God into your heart, into your soul, and into our relationships. God is the answer. No way around it.
Wow. Thank you for that. One of the things you said earlier was about studying the minister's lectures because it'll bring you closer to Allah. And you talked about his expression. One of the things I love too about his expression of the faith is he helps us understand, and especially the lectures that I mentioned earlier, and I read those off,
Mhm.
He helps us to understand the condition that we're both in, right? In terms of the man understanding the woman's, because he's not the male's not the female, right? That's what we're taught. That's what the minister says, and the female's not the male. So sometimes I think some of these disagreements, misunderstandings that student minister Tony talked about is because we just don't understand each other. But reading his works and studying his lectures helps us to understand our own condition and have more empathy, have more compassion,
Mhm.
have more understanding. This little book right here, The Teachings 2.0, we've talked about this
Gotta
before.
get it. Gotta get it.
Gotta get it. This is, since we're on social media, those who are not familiar, this is volume 3A. It was published in 2023. Essentially, people were submitting questions, and then the minister was answering them. And Brother Keon, who gathered all of this data and put it into these small little books, he was the person who helped put this together. So within the table of contents, I had to go back to it, right? I said, I remember it being something on marriage in there. There's a whole chapter on marriage and family. It's on page 87. And I just want to read something to you.
Please.
See, it says marriage and family. So, I mean, the minister's been teaching on this for a long time. But one of the questions someone submitted said, I know this is question, oh, they're not numbered, but it says, I know this world gives us a lot of fancy definitions of it, but I wanted to know, what is your definition of a soulmate? This person says. The minister, meaning the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, says, I believe that a soulmate is a person that not only complements you in terms of physical beauty and attraction, but mentally and at the deepest point spiritually, you connect. And that is a real soulmate and a prescription for a great marriage and the production of a beautiful family. So there's just so many pearls, I mean, that we have on our website of the Final Call. All these books you can get on the Final Call, but I think we should revisit some of what we have and do what Allah told us to do in the beginning, Ikra, right? Which means read, right? Let's read. So I wanted to ask you, brother student minister Desmond, just imagine, because okay, I'm in sales, right? So I do a lot of words like just imagine if you use yeah. So just imagine if we did have something called a marriage or family department, right? How would it function and help families? And I'm talking about every man, woman, and child, and help them with solutions to the family and marriage conundrum. And before someone says, here go Sister Katrina again, using these big words she learned to spell, man, conundrum. What is that? We don't know what that is.
Brother Desmond likes big words.
He's a wordsmith. So I was like, okay, I need to find a word for Brother Student Minister Desmond because he's going to break this down. So conundrum, family, it means a confusing, intricate, or highly difficult problem that lacks an obvious or easy solution. So you couldn't just say this problem. No, I think the situation that we are in with regards to marriage and family is a straight up conundrum. Let's just keep it real. And so it says the primary meaning, a puzzling question, a head scratcher, or an enigma, right? So that's what conundrum is. So again, if we had something called a marriage or family department, and that's within our own organization, but in any organization, any church or any organization that wanted to start something called a marriage family department, maybe even a nonprofit, starting a nonprofit that's all about just marriage and family, how could it help families? What are some of the solutions that it could do to bring, as they say in the Bible, some balm in Gilead, right? I mean, because we need a healing today. So how would it look? What could it do? And what's your opinion on that if you just use your imagination?
That's a tough one for me.
Okay.
I mean, thank you for your question, because if I knew how it looked, I'd be submitting proposals to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan
Yes, sir.
as we
Yes, sir.
speak. And sometimes when we submit proposals and it doesn't come to fruition in the time that we think it should, because of what we consider to be a dire need, sometimes our proposal can be a trial for us, because we might
Of
find
course.
because it didn't evolve in the timeline that we think it would be. But any department, well, let's go to the history of Prophet Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Peace be upon him. The first 23 years was the revelation of the Holy Quran.
Yes.
There were no departments,
Right.
institutions. And then after Islam became seated in the hearts of the believers, then the Prophet began to institute social departments. When a good book is in the Final Call store, The Life of Muhammad.
Yes.
By Muhammad, I think it's Muhammad Khalil. Yeah, but The Life of Muhammad. I mean, it's a nice book, maybe about 400 or 500 pages, but it details and chronicles the life of the Prophet and the establishment of Islam. Beautiful book. And so after Islam was quote unquote established through the revelation, that aspect of the journey, then the Prophet began to set up different social departments for charity and for this and for that. And then it began to, serve the community in the manner in which you're talking about. But, the amalgamation of the entire peninsula took time. And so if we study that, we see every epoch, every time period, certain things happened. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad from time he met Master Farad Muhammad in 1931.
Yes.
All the way up to the 50s and 60s, spreading the word. Matter of fact, he had to run from the hypocrites. And then before his departure, you began to see the institutions, MUIs, just flourishing, fish, tons of fish from Peru, farmland in Georgia, in Michigan, in Alabama, fleets of trucks. Then we were moving to aviation. So the first spread was a vertical spread in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad. And then it was a horizontal spread. So I think for now, I think whatever proposals we have, we should submit those proposals. But I can't imagine that we have an institution that's not of aid. Anything we have with the spirituality at the head and at the center will augment our marriages and help us to become better. Tuesday night, we had a nice broadcast, of course, for members of the Nation of Islam only, to help us. And you may say, well, what good does it do? Well, you don't know the impact that thing had on people who are contemplating divorce, people who are contemplating courtship, people who contemplating marriage, you see? Yes. And so the purpose of these forums is to bring awareness, but God-centered awareness, so that we can, have a better chance of having good marriages. But in all honesty, I don't think I know what what that would look like.
No, you touched on it, and I appreciate you referring us to the. Oh, I just want to say
brother.
This last.
My question.
Can you hear me, Brother Mark?
Brother Mark, Sister Katrina's not finished.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know. Real quick, I just want to thank you, Student Minister Desmond, because this book, The Life of Muhammad at Final Call, I think I've been wanting to get that. So that's interesting that you said that, because I didn't get that book yet. And so thank you for that. And you did answer the question, because you walked us through what the Prophet, peace be upon him, how he started and the things he did, and then connected it to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ, and how we started and what we've been doing all the way down to the modern times. And you're absolutely right, because in my mind, I was thinking department or doing things for the community, very similar to like the Black Panthers and when they started the breakfast program for Black people in the community and for the children. Well, that the government this government of the United States saw that and was like, great program. And so they basically adopted that program, and it's become this national thing that they've taken over. But just being of service to our people, the way we are with the auditing department, right?
Mhm.
And offering auditing to the community and going out and talking to them about good communication and doing seminars and workshops with them about that. Things like that, that even our nonprofit community, our POC community members that worked with a lot of the ministries, right? How they can incorporate family and marriage and all of the different 9 ministries and all the different people, the point of contact and communities that we've worked with, like in terms of all of us putting our hands and our minds together to think about how can we help the Black community in family and marriage. This is a heavy lift, and it should not just be on us, right? We should partner and unify and come together with all of these
Like mine.
Black organizations and communities that want to help the community. So then let's work together in doing that. And so every single event, everything that's done, it's Allah in the center and lifting up the Black family and like making that our mission. Almost kind of like how you've seen in the community the Buy Black campaign, where there's mission of pushing, all the stores you go to, the doctors you go to, where you spend your money. Just be more conscious about where you're spending your dollars so that we can rotate our money in our economy many times over before it leaves our community and then benefits other people, right? Something like that in terms of like a Black family and marriage campaign where we are really promoting healthy families and helping people find and know where to go for resources. That was what I was thinking of as well. So thank you for touching on it.
Yeah, well, to your point before we move to Brother Mark, every time we find an idea, then we have to find an agent for that idea. And
Yes,
so,
sir.
You may be the agent.
Oh,
for that
me?
idea. Or you may induce someone else to be the agent.
Yes,
for
sir.
that idea. One of the things I'd like to say about us in the Nation of Islam is the structure has brought us this far.
That's
So,
right.
do big things and then always consult with our headquarters. But don't not do big things. We all have a gift in us. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, "Blessed is the man or woman who finds their purpose."
That's right.
Some people are born to open orphanages. Say, man, why would you open an orphanage? Don't you just satisfied with your 2 children and stay in your corner? No, people. When people have a labor of love, they do it with joy.
That's right.
Open orphanages. The people who open, different institutions, and it's wide open for us. I would always say, once it involves, anything on a grand scheme, start it. And then reference always our headquarters, and we'll always get good guidance.
That's right.
Beautiful.
But start it. There's good in each and every one of us.
Yes, sir. Excellent.
Brother
Thank
Mark,
you.
I think, brother, you're welcome. I think Brother Mark had his hands up. He's
Everybody hands go up. Okay. So, Brother Desmond, say for example with your vehicle, there are certain things you can do to get the best out of your vehicle, right? You can put the best fuel, you can make sure you get the regular maintenance, just regular, habitual, simple things that you do to get the best out of your vehicle. My question to you is what are some critical actions that a husband or a wife can take that will bring out the best in their spouse?
Well, question. I think Sister Katrina mentioned it, that she loves the expression of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, right? How do you express yourself to your spouse? Are you kind? Do you offer a gentle word?
Beautiful.
Do you use words of endearment? Are you always consciously thinking about your spouse? What kind of language do we use with our spouse? Even in disagreement, you could be gentle.
Right.
That's right.
Some say, man, I ain't there yet. Well, get there.
Right. And fast. And fast.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, I mean, we have to make positive incremental growth and development and changes in ourselves. So study yourself. Look at what you could have done different pathologically. Ask your spouse, how may I please you? Some of us don't even ask.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain things you may do something that doesn't sit well with your spouse. I give you like a just very brief example. You may leave your sneakers, by the door, and one wife throws it through the window, but she lights it with gasoline and matches first, and then throws it out. And then another wife be like, "Oh, my man worked so hard, I push his shoe aside." But two different people, two different responses, right?
Beautiful.
And so we have to look, and that's just a simple idea. So we have to look at, what's your love language? What's her love language? Sometimes we don't even know each other on that scale. We don't even ask. I'm finding out now that my wife is like, sometimes I'm looking for something and she already knows where it's at. I'm like, I didn't tell you, but she already knows. Women learn men fast. And we have to do a better job of being more conscious of our wives and anticipating their needs. I think Brother Nuri speaks on that very well, anticipating the needs of each other. So what can we do? The first thing is appeal to each other. Remember, the minister said the process of resurrection begins with enticing each other. How do you entice? You can entice someone with rough language.
That is true. That is true.
I mean, thanks for calling our company. What you want?
Right.
No. Good morning. Good morning. This is Joy, and thanks for calling such and such institution. How may I be of service to you?
Right.
That could be a rough individual on the phone, but on that job, different expression. Why? Because they're appealing to the customer.
That's right.
Why? Because they respect that you can take your services elsewhere.
Right.
That's
there
right.
you go.
So there's a certain language that builds affinity, Brother Mark.
Yes, sir.
You have to learn the language that builds affinity.
Right.
Because you want your affinity to be at the highest. Affinity is also magnetism. The greater the affinity in chemistry, the greater the bond. I gave that example before, right? So oxygen has a bond with hemoglobin, but carbon monoxide has a greater bond.
Beautiful.
On the negative side, of course, but the bond is strong. So certain things. So how do you bond with your spouse? What raises the affinity level? Well, if you can't communicate, you're losing before even starting to win.
Come on.
My God.
Teach.
I'm just telling you straight up.
Brother Desmond, on that note, is like when we just communicate however and whatever with one another, we become common. We take each other for granted when we talk that way.
Well, communication is a skill.
It is.
Communication, there's listening. That's
effective listener.
That's right. Paying close attention. That's not hearing. That's a physiological process.
That's right.
Sound and ear. Listening. And not formulating answers before hearing the person out.
Right.
So if you haven't learned that skill and we're not good at it, then you have to take a class. If you're not serious about a class to help you to communicate better, then you're not serious about communication.
Wow.
You're casual about it. And you'll get the same results until something changes. What is it about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan when he communicates to us? It's almost like the Bible said, "My sheep know my voice."
Right.
That he can reach people no matter what their religion.
Teach.
That's a skill. That's a spirit. That's an art. That's intention. If the intention is love, then you won't be abrasive. Whoa.
Right. That's true. That is true.
If the intention is love, you won't be uncouth. Well, let me give you the so-called Negro advice. That's just me. No.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that. That's just who I am.
That's just who I am.
That's just who you are, where you are. Well, we all have to grow.
That's
and
right.
become civilized and refined.
Mm, mm, mm.
And so we can make demands from our open enemy and demands from their political system for perfection when we ourselves are not striving for perfection. Our perfection is first with God. Be ye perfect. And so when we try to better that relationship with God, then we'll have a better chance of perfecting that relationship with each other. So what can we do? Appeal. How do you talk to God?
Mm.
Think about it. How do you talk to God?
Mm, mm, mm.
When you're on your knees, when you prostrate, oh Allah,
Mm-hmm.
we beseech your help and we ask your mercies.
That's
For we believe
right.
in you and trust in you for all that we need. We are helpers in your cause. With your apostle, please, Allah, grant to us
Please.
success. Imagine talking to a spouse like that. Oh, sweetheart,
Oh,
how was your day? I mean, good googly woogly.
wiggly, wiggly, wiggly.
In my sister Katrina voice, woo woo.
That's right.
Red
That's
Flanders.
right.
Each other.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Man, I've seen the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in my close-up interact with people, no matter what their faith, no matter what their color. And I mean, it's so gentle. Doesn't mean he doesn't have times when he's going to chide or whatever, but for the most part, what I've seen, I said, oh my God, that is absolutely exceptional. I gotta step my game up. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to have that type of effect on people. Why? Because when you're dealing with each other, you're dealing with God's people.
That's right.
We have to be conscious of that.
Yes,
So what
sir.
can you do? Be more conscious of God. And everything you do it with love.
Mm.
From this
You
point
know-
forward, be more Christ conscious.
Right.
And the more Christ conscious we are, the more we do things with. And guess what? We'll begin to have a certain effect on each other and a certain renaissance. And
That is
man,
true.
you'll see this thing pick up. But God has to be at the center of all of what we're speaking about.
You know, Minister Desmond, I was doing some research, in regards to healing. And it all depends on the healed person in regards to the service they provide. And it was a part in what I was reading in regards to a healed and not healed person. And it was talking about service. And it mentioned that a person that is healthy is looking to be of service versus a person that is not helping is looking to be served. It says if a person is only looking to be served, then he seeks it because he only wants to endure through the lens of how he can get what he wants out of that individual, versus if he's looking to be of service, or he's looking to be served, or is looking to be served, they will ask probing questions like, what do you need? What are your thoughts? What are your dreams? What are your hopes? What do you want to do? How do you want to do them? How do you feel? Why do you feel that way? It said a person will elevate what they want in front of them and identify how they can benefit or make a contribution versus what it is in it for them. And it says people that are healed pour in, and people that are not healed take. So I just thought that was so profound. And back to what Brother Mark was indicating, service is one thing, but if you are not a healed person and you're not demonstrating, the divine spirit in the process of the service, then it can be kind of like phony, or not sincere. And so I just wanted to, and then the thing is, when you're identifying, right, these type of energies, we have to be mindful that we attract who we are. So if we're not healed, then guess what? We're attracting non-healed people. But if we are healed, you will see the manifestation of God through that person, because they're there to serve. So just wanted you to expound on that, Brother Minister.
Yeah, well, as thank you for your exposition and many questions that can arise and can be deduced from what you're saying. As children of slaves, I mean, none of us are healed.
Right. Right. That's first, right?
Clear the whole mess, right? We all need healing, but I think there's every disease has stages, right, for the most part. And so, you may be in a latent stage, someone may be in the first stage, someone may be in the symptomatic stage, and someone may be in the death and dying stage, right? So it's according to also the immunity of that person, because we could be attacked with the same germ or agent, and one responds by creating a policeman or antibodies to fight it off and ward it off, and the other person becomes critically ill from the same interaction. And so, in Matthew 23:11, it says, the greatest among you shall be your servant. So everything you said really is just specifically buttressing what the gospel represents. And there's nothing that we can say that's not covered by God in his word. But that person took what Allah says in the gospel, the book of Matthew, and they made it more specific. And that's what we're charged to do. We're charged in healing to take something from the word of God, put it in stages, and so we can now use it as a healing agent for each other. We have in the Nation of Islam, I believe, one of the best gifts that I've ever received in my whole life, the study guides.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I can't quite put words or value on the study guides.
Come on.
That's a gift from God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the Honorable Minister, which is helping me to heal. And so one of the things about, since I'm a nurse, let me use nursing language. The doctor comes and makes a diagnosis, and you go through 1 million tests. So if we diagnose right, we can treat right.
Right.
Because symptomatically, you could be, throwing up or be nauseated or have pain, and that could be a symptom of a myriad of plethora of diseases or disease processes. So throwing up doesn't necessarily mean pregnant.
That's just a hot deposit.
There's a whole lot of things that cause people to throw up. All right. But if we diagnose right, we can heal right. And then the doctor says, okay, this is the pathway based on our research. And we've had thousands of patients like this. This is the critical pathway. This is what we've identified this. It's vancomycin. That's the antibiotic. Because everyone with this vancomycin cures it, right? And so the doctor can say, okay, 1 gram of vancomycin, every 20 hours, every 20, whatever the time span is. And then that patient now has to make an informed choice after we give them the benefits of, the adverse reactions of, potential risk. Do I accept this regimen, or do I go against medical advice? And that's your right. And we have an AMA form when you want to check out the hospital against medical advice. And if you want to check out without the regimen that we suggest to you and you don't want to sign, well, guess what? 2 of us are going to come as nurses and we're going to sign. Patient refused to sign. And you're on camera leaving the hospital against medical advice. So when you bring your frivolous lawsuit and said, well, they let me out knowing I was sick. No. You let you out knowing you were sick.
Right.
Let's go for counseling.
So every treatment regimen,
Right.
unless you're unconscious and someone else
Right.
is making decisions for you, requires your informed consent. So when Allah gives us information and He raises messengers for us, do we submit to the regimen, or we go against spiritual advice? ASA instead of AMA, against spiritual advice. I mean, going against medical advice is one thing, but going against spiritual advice will definitely get us sick. Because we've been taught that every physical ailment is tied to a spiritual, of course, deficiency.
Right.
So what do we do? Well, that's very personal. Do you submit to the will of God, or do you continue to fight God? So this healing process requires, to some degree, us showing up at the rehabilitation center.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, here we are trying to be healed, and the mosque is a place of healing. The church is a place of healing, and you're a truant. Right? I'm just skipping class. I ain't going. Well, I could be Muslim at home, and I could be Christian at home, and the choir director, she didn't greet me, so I ain't going back. Or the sister on the wall didn't greet. I mean, you know, these are the type of things that deter us. But that's where you are in your stage of development, that's causing external factors to cause you and I to abort a process, the healing process. So you can't go to a physical therapist and expect passive exercise every day. Okay, I'm gonna bend your knees. I mean, at some point, bro, you're gonna have to bend your own knees. I mean, we'll do passive exercise for now, you know, get your blood flowing. Well, as you come to strength, it's like being on a breathing machine. We'll breathe for you, but as your lungs come to strength, then we kind of, you know, decrease the amount of oxygen we give you, because now you're breathing more on your own. And after a while, then we extubate you, we remove the tube. If your blood gases suggest that, man, you're able to breathe on your own. There's some people we extubate and we find out they go into respiratory distress real fast, got to reintubate them. And there's some people, man, they wake up, they look around, and they pull that thing out of it, boom, and they extubated and they survived. And praise be to Allah. And praise be to Allah. But sometimes if your blood gases are not right, pH is not right, you know, so we owe each other something in the healing process, is what I'm saying. You know, you just can't expect, you know, someone to just die for all of your sins and, man, you're healed by the blood of Jesus, the blood of Moses, the blood of Muhammad. I'm healed. Really? Well, our marriages don't suggest it. Our interrelationship, relationships with our parents don't suggest it. Our interpersonal relationships, we need help.
Yes.
You know, you just got to say, like Alcohol Anonymous, I need help.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I need to be healed. And some of us are so arrogant, we actually don't think we need to be healed.
Good Lord.
All of a sudden now you're self-diagnosing.
Self-diagnosing.
So I need help. Brother Desmond, I definitely need help. Wherever I'm at, if I'm at work and I can't be at the mosque, I tune into NOI.org. They got these little things you put in your ears, and man, I listen for a little while. You know what I mean? Or if I'm on my break, I get me a cup of coffee and I read, you know, something from the final call.
You got to.
That's right. Beautiful.
Why? Because healing is not a Big Bang theory. Healing is continuous for what has happened to us and the condition we're in with white supremacy and black inferiority and all that we've been through and is going through. Healing is consistent. So for those who refuse to think that they need to be healed, you're being unjust to yourself, and you're being unjust to the person that you're involved with.
Right.
That type of attitude, that's not good. It's not good. You know, some of us won't take the medicine, but we expect the results of the medicine. We need help. We need spiritual help all the time. All the time. So if you won't take the medicine, then you shouldn't even consider marriage.
Wow.
Beautiful teaching. Beautiful teaching.
Because
Brother
in marriage, I mean, I'll say this lastly. When you fall in love and both have Allah in mind, do you know a husband and a wife could help each other in the healing process?
Beautiful teaching.
By the way they complement each other, we can actually help each other to rehabilitate spiritually.
Right.
With our kindness, with our compliment, with our conversation, with our words of endearment, facing this rough world in a corporate structure that doesn't take human beings into consideration. It's commercialized. You work in that for 8-10 hours as information overload. Then you got to come home. Man, don't you want someone you can, just, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes my wife touched my forehead. I said, golly.
Come on.
I mean, I touch the roof and come back. And it's not
comforter.
It's therapeutic.
Thanks.
How was your day, sweetie? Oh, my God.
There you go.
I joke with my wife, and I'm letting you all in, right? And I say, you're a keeper.
Right.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Praise be to Allah.
Thank Allah, someone cares about me.
That's right.
Themselves on my behalf. See, when you say you care, you got to trouble yourself on that person's behalf.
That's right.
That's right.
This kind of mediocrity care that no. You have to trouble yourself.
That's right.
To prove your care.
Your behavior match the words.
Absolutely. So praise be to Allah for the healing process. Sister Kalila, may Allah bless us all to be healed.
Yes, sir. I'm coming up.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes. And so with that being said, since this is our last
can you stop saying that?
Okay.
I believe there's a degree of ambivalence, right? Yes, we need a little break, but man, this has been so good. We want to continue
it. Okay, so Brother Minister, what words should I say instead of saying last? Until next time, right?
Well, in this segment of life, this is the last, but we don't know what tomorrow brings. We revisit it.
I like that.
Inshallah.
So really sad.
But you don't know what, because Jurassic Park Part 3. You don't know.
Okay. Praise be to Allah. Because every time I said last, I got sad. So I won't say that. Okay. So until next time, until next time, we're going to have closing remarks from not only each one of us in regards to this relationship series, but also Brother Desmond will close us out with a closing remark. And I'm going to start. And again, during my healing process, just getting so many jewels from this book. As a matter of fact, it's called one of my favorites, Misunderstood, because he had to heal. But it goes into where it specifies people who say that they love you never fix the hurt you. Let me repeat. It says, people who say they love you never fix what they hurt. They don't love you if they cannot comfort you. But real love doesn't ignore your pain. Love without effort is just an illusion. And I just wanted to end with that, because a lot of times when we say we love, sometimes that love factor can be very hollow without an action attachment to it. So I just wanted to present that. Thank you. Allow me to share.
Who would you like? Who would you like to go next, Sister Kalila?
Well, Brother Tony,
Oh, praise
you
be
can
to
go
God.
next.
All right, dear family, I'm gonna reference the Holy Quran, the 30th surah. It's entitled Arum, the Romans. In the 21st verse or ayat, it reads, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. And of his signs is this, that he created mates for you from yourself, that you might find quiet of mind in them. And he put between you love and compassion.
Mm.
That's something to be studied right there.
Love and
Surely
compassion.
there are signs in this for people who reflect. So every day should be a day of reflection.
Praises be to
For those
Allah.
of us who are seeking our mates, and for those of us who are with our court mates and with our in marriages, every day should be a reflection. Every day, how can I improve? Every day, how can I find comfort and quiet of mind in my spouse, and how can I replicate and do that for my spouse?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got to begin with myself, really. So I'm going to leave it with that. And we have a plethora of now videos that we can study, both on Facebook and YouTube, and also Twitch. May Allah continue to bless us with great success as the 7th Region Coalition to help save lives.
All right, Brother Mark.
Yes, this has been an excellent series, and I just like to say that it behooves us to lose no time in taking the proper steps to execute the great wisdom that has been given to us. And I was so happy to hear my brother Desmond tonight. As I listened to him, I'm hearing what was said on Tuesday night on the webcast, and just show how Allah works. He's saying certain things from my view that says, look, we got to get busy. And so big field awaits the wide awake man to work out in. So let's make it happen, brothers, and not lose any time in initiating the process of marriage. Thank you.
Okay, and our wonderful, voluptuous, special co-host, my dear sister Katrina.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you so much. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all of the guests that we've had, all the shows we've had, all the people who've been watching and supporting. I'm going to call out a couple of people. A new nurse, student minister Desmond, Sister Angela, who's now a registered nurse, licensed nurse. She just completed nursing school. Shout out to her. She's the one who's been doing the single socials in Jacksonville. So really proud of her. Sister Lola, Sister Yolanda, all the sisters in Chicago, Sister Kyra, Sister Mary, so many who have been watching the show and then commenting and giving me support afterwards. Thanking all of the places where I lived of believers who reached out to me. Of course, number one, Detroit, where I'm from. Number two, Chicago, where I live. Thank you, Sister Akila. Praise be to Allah. She's been tuning in every week. Atlanta, number 15, where you are, Student Minister Desmond. Beemore, number 6, that's Baltimore. Muhammad Mas, number 6. And then Florida, where I was at a study group for a while. In 7th Region, that's how I met all of these beautiful people right here. So they were like, oh, you've been in 7th Region? You're always in 7th Region.
That's right.
So
That's
thank
right.
you so much.
Region for life.
Exactly. Thank you so much to Student Minister Patrick, and then everyone who's been watching, Student Minister Chad, Student Minister Daniel in Chicago, of course, Student Minister Jamil, who wrote the foreword. I just have a bunch of thank yous. That was it. And thank you, Allah. This has been wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. And real quick, because we're less than a minute and I have to close it out. And unfortunately, Brother Minister, you might not be able to do it. But if those who love the show, please donate Please
Support,
subscribe.
support.
Bring it in, bring it in.
$sign 7th Region Coalition.
Yes,
29.
at the bottom. It's at the
Take your
bottom.
donation today.
Make your
Assalamu alaikum.
donations. Walaikum salam. And tune
Love
in
you.
next time. We love you. We love you. We
Assalamu
love
alaikum.
you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wale.